welcome to the Nordic Takedown Podcast, episode 1. We have started a new Star Wars podcast because the world needs more Star Wars Unlimited podcasts, right? My name is Jason, the Captain Kirk, and I'm here with my co-host, Humble, also known as Adam. Hey.
Hello. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing very well. Kind of sat here wondering why I'm starting another new podcast with
With a random person.
With a
from
random
Sweden.
person. We've spoken twice, we've met once. But do you know what? That's the Swedish way.
Sure, for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
We love strangers.
I mean, totally. I mean, if you were my neighbor, we wouldn't even talk to each other. So by the fact you live in another town means that we can do this.
Yeah, because it's more safe. I know you won't hit me now.
Exactly. Yeah. I've got. I mean, I'm actually British from the start. I've got longer arms than you think.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah.
I'll take my chance.
Not that long. Yeah, cool. So let's get to know each other. So yeah, Humble. We'll know you as Humble. You call me Captain.
Yep.
Who are you? What do you do? What's your history with games?
Yeah, let's start with the gaming part.
Yeah.
Nobody really wants to know what we do professionally, because obviously this is not our full-time job.
We're not getting paid for this.
Not yet.
We'll see.
Hopefully, if people are crazy enough.
Yeah, exactly. Patreon details to come by episode 10.
Yeah, exactly. No pressure on us at all. 10 episodes, like so easy. I'm a card gamer or board gamer. Mostly a board gamer from when I was young. My father introduced me and my siblings to board games. We played a lot.
Nice.
And then
favorite board games when you're younger?
Has to be a board game called, which is still my favorite, Age of Empires, Age of Discovery.
Okay, right. Yeah.
Since I was deeply invested in Age of Empires 3, the computer game. Played online and ranked ladders. So that, obviously that was the funniest board game. Then a friend of mine that lives with me here. I live in Värnamo and you live in Skövde.
Yep.
So this friend of me introduced me to Game of Thrones, the card game. That was the first game I started to play. I was really bad, obviously. Only played Lannisters because they had a lot of money and they got to kneel opponent.
Yeah.
We call it here in Star Wars Unlimited. And then let's see. After that, I moved away to Östersund and studied. And there, at that time, Star Wars Destiny came out. So
okay, great.
Started to play that a lot. If there is any Destiny players listening to this in the future, in Sweden, they will know me. So that's the first one I really played competitively. I was even in Germany. I was at €2, played one final. Lost it, obviously. Otherwise, we would have said winner.
So going from like low quality to high quality from game to game. That's a good change.
I really love winning. So have always done in all the computer games, but it just took a while before I figured out the card game aspect.
Yep.
Then, as the most Destiny fans knows, it got cancelled quite a few years ago around COVID. So I actually played an online card game called Legends of Runeterra. If you've heard about it, Jason?
No, I actually have heard of that game. I looked into it very briefly.
Yeah,
but I'll explain why soon. Why I didn't. I stuck with my main game.
I played a lot of League of Legends, so it was a natural swap over.
Sure, because that's included. Yeah,
it's like the
same
universe.
Champions. It's the same universe. Yeah.
So it was real fun. They had a lot of similar mechanics from Star Wars Destiny, that we have here in Unlimited. You take an action, I take an action.
That's good.
Part.
Yeah.
So it was like a smooth transition. So I played some Lore Masters, it was called. It's basically a bit of Euros you play. I represented Sweden at 2 occasions.
Wow. Okay.
But no major prize money or anything for me. Mostly the people I played with, they won like $10,000s a few times, but not me.
Wow. Is
Um,
this in Legends of Runeterra?
yeah,
Wow.
yeah. Before it went, Riot is pulling back on the game a little bit now, but
Hmm.
so that's the latest I've played a bit more competitively
Yeah.
of card games. So that's me.
That's card games, yeah. So you like that, you live in Värnamo, which is kind of like the southern
Yeah,
part of southern Sweden. Because most of Sweden is in the bottom half of Sweden anyway,
yeah.
but it's kind of
Like 2 hours from Malmö,
yeah,
which
yeah,
is basically in
yeah.
Denmark.
But it's still small land, isn't it?
Yeah,
Värnamo,
yeah,
yeah,
it's still
yeah,
smaller.
small land, which is like the largest county, which
Yeah,
is makes small actually translates to small, but it's not small.
no,
For those of you
it's
who,
not that small.
yeah. Our listeners are going to learn so much about Swedish as well, especially about Sweden, especially our international listeners that we hope we get thousands of.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. Yeah, for
exactly.
sure.
Yeah. So do you have a family?
Yeah. I have family. They live in Karlstad.
Yeah.
A brother who is
Yeah.
playing this game as well.
Cool.
And a sister that wouldn't care at all, and parents who doesn't know about it.
Oh, probably wouldn't care.
Yeah,
Exactly.
definitely
Yeah.
wouldn't
Yeah.
care.
That's cool. Yeah.
And also I have a girlfriend. Of course, that's
Yeah.
basically family.
Yeah.
She would not be happy if she listened to this and I didn't mention her in that question.
Yeah. 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 But you don't have the blessing of kids yet.
No.
Yeah. Cool.
I
So
have
you have time.
I have the blessing of free time.
Yeah. Exactly. There we go.
So
Yeah.
I have the opportunity to be competitive,
Oh. Oh. Wow.
But
Such pleasure it must be.
yeah, for sure. Just grinding all day. And I will just start with also excusing every international listener for having this, Swedish English accent when I'm talking.
As
I'll
long
try
as
to
you
mimic
aren't
you a lot.
talking like you go to IKEA all the time.
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
Yeah. At least you're not talking like that.
You think I don't? Oh, nice.
No,
Nice.
no, I understand you. You speak like someone who speaks English, but you don't have an accent. You know. If you were in England, I could tell you weren't English, but
Yeah.
you don't. Yeah, it's fine. You don't sound Swedish.
Too Swedish. Yeah, that's cool.
Which is good. Which is good.
That's the best thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what about you, Captain?
Yeah. So my board game card game experience. I started off with board games by being invited to play. I mean, I used to play Settlers of Catan and Monopoly and everything when I was younger. I was very involved in church after I was 21, after I graduated, and so churches play a lot of Catan.
Yeah, they do. They do.
Yeah, so every single I kind of traveled around for a bit, and I was a member of different ones, and everyone played Catan. It was just the game that everyone had to know if you're a member of a church in England.
They never go higher than
No,
exactly, it's Catan.
Yeah. So I then kind of met someone in Gothenburg when I moved over to Sweden, and we sat down and played Through the Ages. And so obviously the complexity level shoots up through the roof. I mean, Through the Ages, I would say, is probably a 6 out of 5 in complexity level. I went home not knowing what happened, but I loved it, and I went and bought my own copy. And so I kind of played board games, and then some friends gave me a couple of Keyforge decks when that first released, and absolutely fell in love with Keyforge. Fell in love with the fact that I don't need to deck build, because deck building was very new to me. I didn't get it. So to not have to worry about that, but I can just pick up a deck, play, and understand the deck from that perspective. That was really good, and I just got in deck after deck after deck after deck after deck. 340 decks later,
that's
here I am
really
now.
good entry point to card games, actually.
Yeah, Keyforge, and it's still alive. Just.
Oh, it is? No,
Keyforge is still alive. I do have another podcast, the Nordic Keyforge podcast. And that's still going. We're still going strong. We were one of 3 podcasts still going on during the pandemic. And so I'm kind of quite heavily into that as well. I also tried to play Flesh and Blood, but my experience with Flesh and Blood is your experience with Game of Thrones game. I absolutely suck. There are so many timing windows, knowing what to do. I've got a lot of cards, but I'm just like, well, everything has its own little
Yeah,
niche thing, and I was just really trying because that was the deck building
yeah,
element that I was enjoying, kind of going from and it was helping me understand a bit more my Keyforge decks. Why is my Keyforge deck so good, or why is it so bad? Seeing as I can't change it, so that was really fun. And then along comes Star Wars.
yeah.
Yeah, which is really easy to get into, really easy to play. I explained the game to someone on Monday night, and they, by the end of the game, they understood and beat me. So yeah, I was easy on. So yeah, it was fine.
Obviously.
Yeah, exactly.
Um,
So that's I guess that's my gaming experience. I also have the Captain's Deck YouTube channel where I try to produce content
yeah,
regularly. Try to, but again, I do not have the pleasure of time.
because you do have kids.
I have a wife. I have 2 kids. I've been in Sweden coming up to 11-year wedding anniversary. I've been in Sweden for 12 years. 2 kids, 5 and 2, and still balancing around. This is my outlet into my time, my
Yeah.
space, and yeah, just kind of yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much my life and how
Yeah.
I'm getting into this. Yeah.
So family plus games.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
My son's getting into Pokemon,
Nice, nice.
which is good. 5 years old, so he can understand numbers. He can add up, which is really great. Pokemon did a really good product, which was the My First Battle product, which
Yeah.
is aimed at 6-year-olds. Now he can't read, but he can understand the energy icons. He can understand the power numbers, and it's
Mhm.
good enough for him, and sees the pictures. So it's good enough for him to use the 15 card deck that you get with that to
Yeah.
play me and everything as well. So it really loves playing the card game. So I'm getting him in there. 5 years, well, maybe 3 years time, he'll be playing Star Wars, playing Keyforge, playing all these games with me. So
Yeah, I think that's reasonable,
yeah,
especially when you groom him so early. Groom
yeah,
him into.
yeah, exactly. I mean, he'll get a choice, kind
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
of.
If he wants to spend time with his dad, it's kind of games
Yeah,
are nothing.
yeah, cool. Yeah, so that's us. I'll be Jason or Captain. You're Humble or Adam. We'll call each other whatever,
Yeah,
and yeah, we will. I think we'll have a really good time, kind of exploring this game.
yeah, I think so too.
So why are you doing this? Like, I had the idea to do a podcast, and why did you say, yeah, let's do
That's a
it?
great question.
And you still don't know why.
I, yeah, that's probably true. Now, I kind of like talk about the game a
Yeah.
lot, um, and I do enjoy listening to podcasts myself around like in sports or whatever it is the podcast is about. It's like an easy way to consume content in your day-to-day life. So being able to make that for others is fun.
Yep.
Also fun to do it for myself. So when you when we spoke and you just like I think you cracked the idea or something like that.
Mm.
I was like, yeah, hell yeah,
Yeah.
why not?
Yep.
What's the worst thing that could happen? That people think my ideas are idiotic. Yeah, then I go beat them in a tournament with that idea.
I mean, I think the same thing about most of the podcasts I listen to.
Yeah.
Half the time, some of the ideas are good. Some of the ideas just like, no, I completely disagree. But that's okay,
Yeah, sure
because
is.
no one can stop us putting this out.
Yeah, exactly. We're our own heroes. So cheesy. So you obviously like doing podcasts. What is it that you like with this game so much that you want to make a podcast with this, even though you already have one?
Yeah, I think because, well, first of all, there isn't a Swedish podcast yet for this game.
Yep.
I don't know how many American podcasts there are
So
so
many.
far. There are so many. So why not let's be the first in Sweden to put something else out?
Yeah.
I really enjoyed doing the Keyforge one, but one of the big parts for me, and I think for being able to talk about the game, being coming in at this level, because I'm coming in at a more casual level. There's still a lot about deck building I don't get, and I'm
Yeah.
still trying to learn. And this game has got so many possibilities. No one's cracked the game yet. There's really good deck ideas. Boba Fett's being really strong, etc. But for me, my game experience, your game experience, if you're listening to this, your game experience is relevant. Like how you experience the game is as relevant as the next person. And no one should tell you different. And so for me, it's saying, well, actually, just because someone is maybe playing a little bit better than you or having a different experience and they're enjoying it more, doesn't mean there's anything wrong with how you're experiencing the game, or if you're struggling with the game. Like this game is about the community. And there was the same thing with the Keyforge one. The community, I think, is for me is more important than whether I win or lose. That comes across in how I play. um, I really want to win when I play, but
Yeah.
for me, it's like exploring the game and trying to make the most out of what I've got. Like, I haven't watched any tier videos yet, for example. I know you did a tier video, a
Yeah.
couple of tier videos, and yes, I subscribed and I liked your channel. I am so humble on YouTube. Um, but I haven't fully watched it because I want to explore the tiers myself. I
Yeah.
want to judge for myself. Okay, is Sabine better with red? Wait, Sabine is red. Is Sabine better
Yeah.
with
But
as a
you can
yellow?
play the double red, you know.
You can play double
So
red. Yeah, is she better with yellow or blue? Or is everyone just going to go green because of the energy
ECL.
lab?
Yeah.
Because of the lab. Like, what aspect works best with which heroes, and just exploring that for myself.
Yeah, you want to find it out yourself, not
Yeah,
having someone
not
telling you.
having someone
Yeah.
telling me so that I can go and net deck and take the best deck that everyone's playing
Yeah.
and win. I want something that for my playstyle that I enjoy. And so for me, I'm coming in at that level. I'm also passionate about people not being play to win.
Yeah.
Like, yes, there's an investment into TCGs. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. But not having to buy 6 cases every time it comes out to have
Yeah.
everything. Like, looking at how can you be involved in this game with a budget, because the more people that are involved, the longer the game will live.
Yeah. 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 For sure.
Yeah.
The mass is what's needed, not like the competitive top is
Yep.
not that important.
No.
And
No.
to be honest, for the survival of the
Yeah.
game,
No.
maybe if
Exactly.
they're content creator at the same time, then they of course are important. But yeah, I think we will have quite a lot of segments where we talk about like in the future a little bit more about like limited budgets decks and stuff.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, because we are going to be talking competitively. Because I've got a lot to learn from yourself, who have played and done well in competitive card games, but not everyone has the budget, has the ability to
Exactly.
even go to the big tournaments.
Yeah.
Like, the local scene is so much more important. Getting your local game store to support it, and just getting down there and playing because you enjoy playing
Yeah.
is more important than being the best player in the world.
Yeah, because everyone cannot buy everything in this game. It's not a mega expensive
No,
TCG
it's
by any
it's the
means.
cheapest to get into right now.
Yeah, right now,
Yeah.
and still it's like maybe twice the price that Destiny was.
Yep.
Uh,
Okay.
because I think you could pay like this would sound like a lot of money, but like 10,000 Swedish kroner a year on Destiny, and you could probably play almost everything.
Yeah. And so
Like
that's
the
10,000
whole,
Swedish krona. We're talking
yeah,
about roughly about $1,000.
yeah,
Yeah.
and like with the rarity of the legendaries here in this game compared to Destiny and the
Yeah.
fewer packs in the boxes, it's not going to be as obtainable. So you will, unless you want to or really really want to invest everything in it,
Yeah. Yeah.
and which is definitely fine
Yeah.
and some people can do that, but not everyone can, especially in this low economy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we will definitely
Exactly.
look I think we might also talk about like when we know a little bit more about which decks are good. I know there is like a
Yeah.
sentiment about it, but like if you want to have like 3 decks, which 3 decks can you pair with to use the same legendaries maybe?
Yeah, exactly.
So
Yeah,
you get like a full set of
yeah.
3 decks that are competitive, but you only like need to buy 3 copies of like 3 legendaries or 4.
That's a good idea. That's a good idea. Because I mean, that's how I've done Flesh and Blood. Like, I've gone
Yeah, Flesh and
Ranger.
Blood is expensive.
Flesh and Blood is expensive, but if you got like 2 or 3 staples, there's quite a few decks you can
Yeah.
get. Um, so the same thing will be in Star Wars Unlimited, and we don't know where the market will be yet. We don't know
No.
where it
No.
will settle. I mean, I've seen some legendaries going like for $100, some
Yeah.
for say 30, 40
Yeah, for
dollars
sure.
or
And there will
something.
be like the bad legendaries. They will be real cheap, but who
Yeah.
wants them though? So
No, exactly. Like some of the commons are better
yeah,
and
for
more
sure,
suited
for sure.
in the legendaries
Like
as well. Yeah.
overwhelming barrage.
Yeah. Oh, that. Don't, okay. We'll get onto the pre-releases in a minute.
Yeah.
But that overwhelming barrage ruined my day.
It's a solid card.
I know it is. I didn't have it.
Yeah, I had it and I ran it off color. Even
Yeah.
in my I didn't
Yeah.
play it once because
No.
my deck was too aggro.
Yeah. Yeah. It was. Yeah. That card is the artwork is beautiful.
Yeah,
I really want that playmat as well.
yeah. The
Never.
playmat is nice, especially now when you cannot use your old playmats in tournaments here.
Yeah.
I'm
Don't get me started on that.
uh,
We want to be positive for episode
yeah,
one.
yeah. But I think the
We
reasoning is
will be.
fine. The
Yeah.
reasoning is fine. But as a former Destiny player, it's like I have Star Wars mats that you printed. They should be fine. But
Yeah. Yeah.
uh,
Yeah. No, but let's stay positive.
yeah. Yeah, for sure, for sure. I want the new mats. Like
Yeah.
I
No,
do.
I do.
Now I have a good excuse for
Yeah.
getting new ones or winning new ones. Hopefully.
Yeah, no, definitely. No, but I mean, we'll get onto that chat at the moment because I mean, especially the sleeves, I thought was the weirdest decision there because I was on the verge of ordering my own custom sleeves
Ah, I did
for
not even know about that. Yeah.
through the captain's deck, but it's got to be the Game Genic Star Wars ones or any blank sleeves.
So like if I have like the Ninja purple sleeves, that's fine
I believe so. Yeah,
because
as
it's
long
like a one color.
it's a one color opaque. As
Yeah.
long as you can't see through, I'm pretty sure that's fine. I don't think that has to be Game Genic, but the if they're art on the back, they have to be the Star Wars ones.
Yeah.
The Star Wars Game Genic
That
ones
FFG
they
has
made.
done.
That
Yeah.
FFG has done with Game Genic, and they're good quality. They're really really good quality. The Game Genic stuff, like the Game Genic. I mean, I bought one of. I don't know if you bought one of
Oh
the
yeah, I
double
bought I
boxes.
bought the same, a double, but red, of
Oh,
course.
you bought the red one, yeah. So I
More
bought
bloody.
yeah. So I bought the yellow one because I like my bright colours, part of the Captain's Deck logo and everything. And I got a white one, single one as well. And I think the quality of these are fantastic.
Yeah, they seem real nice.
So yeah, it's there's a lot of really good stuff.
So if the sleeves
about
are the
this.
same quality, then I don't mind buying a few.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the playmats I was really hoping to go for like a mixture of different games and get my logo on as well. But we're just talking about OP though, aren't we?
Yeah. I think I think as long as it's not streamed, I don't think it matters.
Yeah, exactly. But like anyone can play take down to the local game shop and play what they want, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. If you're playing casually, as
soon as you get casually, they can't control that for sure.
No, exactly. As soon as you get into the competitive level or the competitive tiers, okay, fair enough.
Yeah,
fair enough. But we can get into that another day. There's so much about this game that we can talk about because we want to give our opinion whether people want to hear it or not, right?
Yeah, obviously.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. But I mean, let's talk about our pre-release.
Yeah, we were at the same one.
We were at the same one. This was both the only one that we both went to. We went to Manatorsk in Skövde, which is the middle of Sweden. Almost couldn't get more middle. Like it's in the middle of Gothenburg and Stockholm going across.
Depends on how you see it. I lived in Östersund, and that is like that is the middle of Sweden geographically, exactly. And that's like 100 kilometers out.
But it's the north. It's the north of inhabited Sweden.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but Skövde's right in the middle. Manatorsk, they're Manatorsk in Skövde also. They're looking at doing selling singles in the game as well.
Yeah,
which is really good. So that's my local game shop. And so
you're lucky you have one.
I'm going to be plugging these guys a lot because they're absolutely fantastic, and they're going
Yeah.
hard on Star Wars Unlimited as well. Johannes and Johan, they absolutely love the game, so I'm super lucky, and that's another reason I'm getting into Star Wars Unlimited. Like, there's 20 people turned up to our pre-release,
Yeah.
right? Most of them were local.
Yeah, I think one guy from Stockholm, me from
Yeah.
Värnamo, and then my brother and and our friend from Örebro.
Yeah.
I think the rest was local.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a really good scene there in Quiver. So keep an eye out for Manatorsk on their website, manatorsk.com, and they'll be putting in singles up pretty much shortly when the market settles and they decided what they're going to do. But we were there. We opened up our packs. What deck did you
I
buy?
ended up going,
Build.
build. Well, I kind of bought it, it was an entry.
Yeah.
But so first of all, like this was my first pre-release in any card game I've played. I've always come in late.
Okay, yeah.
Otherwise,
me too, actually, yeah.
So it was I just want to say it was a really fun event. Even though I'm quite competitive, it was a really nice format or everything to just try the game and as you said, Monators did it really, really nice, very, very welcome.
Yeah.
So I pulled the one legendary out of the box, but it was Vigilance, double blue, a little bit hard to run, and I didn't draw any big thing at all. But I did draw 2 fleet lieutenants and 2 Sabine Wren.
Okay.
So,
You went red then.
Yeah, I went Leia as my
Okay.
as you also
yeah.
did
Yeah.
as my leader, and then I went red and white. I think I didn't get any funny bases to play around with. So it was a 30 HP base.
Yeah.
And then I just put down every aggro aspect I could get down there to just try to blow people out of the water. Which worked pretty well. The first 2 games, I just ran through my opponents until I faced someone that had drawn Big Boys and Boba Fett as a unit.
So you lost your first game to Boba Fett as well.
Yeah.
I lost my game.
And it wasn't even close. It wasn't even close.
No, I know. There was a that was a bad experience.
Yeah, that was
going up against that Boba Fett deck.
I think he had Boba. I think he had. I might misremembering. I think he had drawn 2 Superlation Technicians and 1 supply or something.
Yes, he did.
So he just ramped like crazy, and I was playing with my actually shit card, but they are okay because it was a limited format. So I was aggroing him down, and he was super greedy, and still I was 10 HP off when he stabilized. Put down a big walker.
Yeah, I had a similar experience to him. I'm just reminding myself of my deck actually right now as we speak.
And then
so you went 2 for 2, yeah?
I went 2-1, and then we drew. Me and you won at Monotox. He would have won if we had more time.
Okay.
Because
was he playing
Chewie?
He's playing Chewie, which is my favorite, which is the deck that I want to build.
Yeah, it was actually quite interesting because Chewie then comes out of round 7. So first game I got him to 29 HP. Then he plays Chewie and Luke Skywalker at the same round, and then he starts to restore. So I lose that game. We go into next game.
Yep.
I beat him the round before Chewie comes out. And the third game, I get him to 28 HP. He gets down Chewie and Luke, and we go to time.
Oh, yeah.
So that was the 3 most fun games for sure.
Chewie is such an interesting one because you've just got to kill him before he comes out.
Yeah, and in a pre-release with the wieners, weenie units like mine, it's three of them needs to trade into Chewie's 9 HP. So Chewie felt like a pretty good hero in a pre-release or a sealed event or something.
Yeah, because you don't even need Sentinel because you just got to bring out stuff with Sentinel.
Yeah,
because you can do that all the time.
Because it's not necessarily sure that you draft any good like space cards. Like
No.
I had no good space cards. So when Chewie was there, there's like I had to go through it, which I
Yeah.
couldn't. Uh, so yeah. So how
Yeah.
was yours?
Mine was good. I also played Leia, and I was kind of going between I think Leia and Chewbacca on the on my decisions. I also pulled the leaders. Other leaders I pulled, which were they? I also put a Hera
Mm.
Syndulla, which I was tempted by, but I didn't have enough Spectre for that to even be worth
Yeah,
it.
I feel like she's gonna be hard to
Yeah,
play in.
I only pulled heroic heroes though in my booster packs, and so if I wanted to go villainy, I had to go Darth Vader, and I thought,
Mm,
okay, there's going to be so much Luke and Darth Vader, we're going to get the packs. I kind of want to go for some new one. Okay, so I kind of
yeah.
just ignored that, and actually, I'm quite glad I did because I
By
did
the way,
not
did you
have.
meet a lot of Luke Vaders? Because I only faced one.
I faced one Vader.
Yeah, me
Yeah,
too.
I
One
think
Vader.
there was two people that chose Vader, but I faced one at the end
Yeah.
and got absolutely destroyed by some similar cards, like Green Vader, by a good friend of mine, and got destroyed again by some similar cards to the Boba Fett debacle. So I won my first game. My layer deck though, I had in red I had like 7 rebels, and then in green I had like a ton of rebels as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 rebels. So I had like half my deck. I had rebels.
Yeah.
So I thought, okay, Leia is probably the safe bet here, and I wanted to see how she went. I also had a traitoress, which is such a good upgrade. Which is
Yeah,
the
actually,
where you
yeah.
steal three or let cost less, and you take control of that unit.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah,
it's
that
like
one is actually deceptively good. It looks pretty trash when you look at it, and then
no,
when you
but it's
see it
like
played against you, like,
yeah, I
okay,
mean,
it has power.
stick it on a sentinel. They put a sentinel out. You got no
Yeah.
sentinel in your deck, so I was able to kind of survive quite long using traitoress. General Dodonna
Yeah.
was a huge player for me.
It's actually a pretty good card.
First game I in the first game I lost of the day. I decided to stupidly resource it because it came out at the wrong time.
Yeah,
And I was
yeah,
like, oh man, I really need this because it's 4/4 and it gives everything +1.
yeah.
And I'm just like, okay, it makes the difference. I did have three copies of Bethany 2 tubes in, and at one time I had all 3 in my hand.
Yeah.
But I had a Sabine as well, which was really good, and I managed to get her protected quite well.
Oh, you did manage to get her protected. I never did
Yeah,
that.
yeah, exactly. I think
Maybe
I'm
because I didn't play for
I
it.
may have misplayed it a little bit, but because it's got to be the aspects on the other cards.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But I'm looking at the card. I'm pretty sure that actually when they wanted to hit her, then it was absolutely fine, and I played it right.
Yeah, and it's a
And
pre-release. People will misread, and
yeah,
like the funniest thing I think was on the pre-release was like I don't remember the card, but there was 2 people playing. My brother was one of them. It was like you can bounce. It costs like 1 or 2. You
mm.
can bounce your own unit up, but they read it like bounce any unit. So it like
Wow,
bounced big units on the other table, and then I heard like someone else came and told the other guy that who
yeah,
had got bounced, no, you cannot do this. So it
yeah,
was like, um, so but
yeah.
that's what happens
It's
on pre-release.
pre-release.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
it's
know,
not
we
competitive, so it's
no,
like
exactly,
nobody's
exactly.
cheating on purpose.
No, definitely. So that was mine. I took 2 copies of Academy Training as well,
Yeah,
which
that was
was a
solid.
really good thing. An Alliance Dispatcher actually did a lot of legwork for me.
I did. I had
Yeah,
it. I resourced it every time.
I did. It did work for me when I played it out first because I could really get a good board going
Yeah.
when if you can play turn 1 Alliance Dispatcher,
Oh
that
yeah, yeah,
really
of
really
course,
helps.
yeah. I didn't go first a single time.
Oh wow, okay, yeah. I
Well, at
going
least the
for
first game.
yeah.
Yeah.
But the game I lost basically I for some strange reason I resourced 97th Legion because it came out really early,
Yeah.
and then the guy beat me with 97th Legion,
Yeah.
and that's right. Next game 2, I'm not gonna
Do
resource
that.
it.
Yeah.
It came out turn 3. I held on to it.
Yeah.
Finally got it out. I had what's the card? It was Precision Fire in my hand as well, which is attack with a unit against Saboteur, and if it's a trooper, gets a 2/0.
Yeah.
for this attack. So that was game over. Played it out. He came straight out with a Devastator. Yeah.
It's about the same power level of a card.
But like I say, he had is
it was the Boba Fett, right?
It was the Boba Fett. So we had
Yeah,
resupply.
yep.
So by the time I got to 7 resources, he was on 10.
Yep.
So yeah, it was just
impossible to punish him with like some sort of Leia aggro deck.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
He laughed about that.
The same thing happened against the Vader that I played, where I managed to get that out, and then he hits me with an overwhelming barrage on his one of his ships that he got out. I can't even remember which ship it was. It was
I think I faced him. It could be like the 4-1 ship or something.
No, it was a he had like 8. It was 8 power, 9 power. It was one of the big beasts.
Oh yeah,
okay, yeah. Not the Devastator, but I really can't remember what it was.
It's the red one that does 2 damage here and 2 damage there.
Yeah, that's the one. Overwhelming barrage on that, and he was dead. So, like, I put a Leia putting her hope in the 97th Legion is not good.
But did you go 2-2? Or
I went 1-3, unfortunately.
1-3.
I played Nikolai, who was the guy who came down from Stockholm. I know from the Keyforge World, and that was a very close game. I lost.
That was the Vader, right?
No, that was he did play Vader. Maybe I played 2 Vaders. Yeah, I must play 2 Vaders.
Because I think I play. I'm pretty sure I played his Vader too. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So it was 2 Vaders, but that one I was like, it was so backwards and forwards, and he just kind of he got his board state bigger than mine. I did pull the legendary foil legendary Super Laser Blast, which was a
did you
pull.
Nice.
Yeah,
that's
really nice. Not the showcase.
Well, I was still good. I think it's still. I think you net plus on those 350 Swedish crowns.
I think so. Yeah. So that could pay for in the future pay for a another box of some kind. We'll see what happens. I didn't play. I think I thought about taking that out of aspect, but it was a blue, so I would have gone doubly out of aspect. Trying to play 12.
Oh yeah, blue black. Yeah, blue black. Yeah.
Trying to play 12 to get that Super Laser Blast out.
It's good, but maybe not that good.
Exactly right. So I didn't play anything out of aspect, but Leia is actually, if you can get the right cards. The other misplay I did was that I never got Black One out, which is another legendary. So I actually pulled 2 legendaries.
Nice. Packs. I actually drew a black one myself on the victory packs.
In the victory packs, yeah. So that was but it would never fit the moment. It never fit the moment to actually get it out, and I felt like I was on the defense at that point as well. But the overall experience was, for me, a mixture of, oh my goodness, I'm actually getting my hands on these cards. The hype has been so high. I've been following YouTube videos. I was following so much stuff on YouTube where people are opening packs because they have a really good relationship with FFG. They've been sent out stuff, and it's like, I really have to have these cards. I really just want to use them and stuff. And at the same time, we're going, let's not play so bad and make a fool of myself. Because I even did a video on my YouTube channel of, how to play. So I kind of had a little bit of pressure to go, maybe this guy knows what he's doing. I didn't, who knew? But also just like enjoying the game and meeting other people, meeting Nicholas, Nicholas, who came down from Stockholm, who we've been playing Keyforge in the same Keyforge League for 3-4 years, playing against other people, chatting to old friends and stuff. So it's kind of a huge mixture of just joy. I don't know what was the experience in total for you.
For me, it was a bit different because I think I only knew, except from my brother and Samuel from Örebro. I think I remembered one player. The rest was totally new for me.
Okay,
I've never been to Monotalks before because I'm not a Magic player, right?
No.
Who is? And I was in Flesh and Blood for a short period. I played one road to National, and that's where I met that guy. It was the guy who brought it home.
Bordy, Naked Boy. We can talk about his deck in a moment because I was chatting. He's in my he's in my local Flesh and Blood group.
So basically, so it was like meeting new people, and which was really fun. Like another nice community
Yeah, yeah,
to play around with, um, because and just like you, like it was so nice to get your hands on the cards, because we've been waiting since early summer, like last summer,
yeah.
because as soon as I saw that, I sold every Flesh and Blood card I had. When they
Yeah.
announced Star Wars Unlimited, I sold everything, uh, because like
Yeah.
I think Flesh and Blood, you really need a bigger scene,
Yeah,
unless you have
you really do. You really do.
unless you want to pay like 30,000 Swedish crowns a year, maybe, to be able to play against all the decks.
To play all the decks, to collect the cards, to visit the places
Yeah,
that there's a scene going.
and it was
Yeah,
it's let's say both games are complicated, but
yeah,
it's so easy. It's much easier to understand what your opponent wants to do in Star Wars so
yeah,
far than
yeah.
in Flesh and Blood. Like there is so many heroes there that
Mm,
changes the game. Like you play basically a new game with that
yeah.
new hero. Um, so
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. No. You're totally right there.
so here
I
it's
don't
so
think
easy.
Star Wars is as complicated as Flesh and Blood
No.
by any stretch of the imagination, though, because like I was able to teach someone on like, last Monday night in my gaming group in Quivda, and we sat down. It was way later than I thought it was, but we were waiting for some people to finish a game, and so let's just sit down. I built a Chewbacca deck from the
Yeah.
remainder of my cards, and a couple of cards from my prize pack.
Hmm.
And so I have a limited deck of 2 decks there, and I just did Chewbacca versus Leia, and by the end
Yeah.
of the game she got it, and the other game that was playing finished, and I said we can finish now. I said no, I want to finish, and
Yeah.
yeah, she got the game instantly
Yeah. Yeah.
by the end of the game. Flesh and Blood, I've never had that.
No, and I said it wrong. I said both are complicated.
Yeah,
That's not true.
both
Star
are
Wars,
complicated to be good at.
yeah, Star Wars Unlimited is not. It's easy. The
Yeah,
rules are easy.
yes, yeah.
It's still like
It's a
you,
high level to master.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
There's still skill in the game. Easy
yes,
rules, but difficult choices. So it's still a
yeah,
difficult game. I would still say that Flesh and Blood is probably a more difficult game,
yeah,
because
yeah.
it's you play a game is the game is longer, so there's more
Yeah, yeah,
decisions.
yeah.
It makes things hard.
But Flesh and Blood. I mean, it sounds like we're being negative towards Flesh and Blood
No, it's
for some reason. But it's such a complex game.
but very fun.
But it's so much fun. But it's so much about skill as well,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
taking down to what happens when you're on like you can present lethal.
yeah.
And
But of
the
course,
game
we have to
the
rag
game
about it a bit.
yeah.
We like Star Wars here. Yeah.
Yeah, no, exactly. But you exactly. But like when you're at least when you can like give like what's the word I'm trying to think of, when you can
If you're asking me about English words, you have come to the wrong place.
yeah, I know, right? I know. But when you can present lethal
Yeah,
damage, it goes backwards and forwards
yeah,
for a long time. In Star Wars, when you get to a point where you can present lethal damage, is over very quickly.
yeah.
Yeah.
The way or that. Otherwise, either way,
Yeah.
he has to claim right away to find an answer, or
Yeah.
it's over.
Yeah, exactly. And so they're very different in that way. And I do love the complexity of when I actually understand the deck that I'm playing and the deck that I'm
Yeah.
playing against, that it can go backwards and forwards. But with Star Wars, it's just it's so easy to get into, and
Yeah.
there's going to be so multiple players.
I really like
around
the
me as
best
well,
of 3
so.
format as well. Like,
Yeah. Because the game in Star Wars could be over
yeah,
within 2
so
minutes
fast.
because you don't pull the right cards. But
Yeah.
then if you've got a good deck, you can turn it around.
Because we had the best of 3 format in playoffs in the Star Wars Destiny, not in the Swiss rounds.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
And I really like, because it's a card game. It's always going to be a stretch of luck.
Yes.
And in the best of 1, you can get really screwed by luck.
Oh, yeah. Totally. Yeah. Yeah.
So in a best of 3, less chance at least. I think there is a little bit of an issue in Star Wars Unlimited so far with the initiative. It's very good to start.
Yes. Yeah, you can get a huge. And I was chatting to a good friend about that on Monday night, where he was trying to say, so if you roll the dice and take the initiative, you've got the initiative for the first 2 or 3 turns.
Yeah, most likely. Yeah.
Basically, yeah.
You have the control at least. You opt into releasing it usually.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. But that's an element of the game that we can
talk about later. Yeah,
we can talk
but I
about
really like
in
the
like 30 episodes
yeah,
time or something, because we're going to last that long. Uh, but
obviously.
that's it. But there are so many levels to this game, but it's also a game that you can just pick up and play and teach them the rules
Yeah,
within 5 minutes, and they can just play and enjoy. If they don't fully get how to be good at the game, it doesn't matter, because they're
no,
playing with Luke and Han and
yeah,
sending out, Luke and Han randomly sending in the 97th Legion doing something or
yeah.
whatever. That's completely the wrong
Whatever
aspects, I
like
know.
characters you like in
Yeah,
the game.
like you can build your own Star Wars
Yeah.
story within a game and really, really enjoy it. And so I think it's got so much staying power because of that.
Yeah. So may I ask you a question?
Yeah.
So which aspects are you looking forward to the most, Captain?
I am looking forward, I think, to cunning, actually,
Mm.
because, which is funny, because when I've some of the podcasts and some of the things that people are saying that cunning is for the pro players,
Yeah,
to really
the
understand.
late game Thrawn. That's
Yeah,
what they talk about,
yeah,
right?
exactly. I really want to build a Thrawn deck. If I'm
Yeah,
going to go for a
me too.
villainy deck, I really want to build a Thrawn. And it's not because I think that I'm a good player, but just because some of the stuff's the fun. Bouncing stuff around, coming with
Yeah.
sneak attack or whatever it
You
is.
just want to play with that Bib Fortuna. He's so sexy.
Yeah, yeah. All that kind of, like, it feels the most fun to kind of get those, confused. What are you going to
Yeah.
do? The opponent doesn't really know what you're going to do, like that, because aggro feels very simple,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of good
It's
fun
supposed
stuff
to
there,
be.
and you can smack
Yeah.
smack smack smack. But cunning is just like it's the combo keyforgey kind of stuff,
Yeah.
where you've got all these different abilities and they kind of mix and match in different ways. Yeah, I think cunning. What about yourself?
I think I've been liking the blue.
Vigilance.
Yeah, the vigilance part. I've tended to go to the villain side of the blue. I like the
Mm.
I really like Dooku as a card.
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay.
and I am I prefer to play mid range, right? Mid range or
Okay.
aggro usually.
Now, what mid range? What do you mean by that? So a little bit of aggro, a little bit of
Yeah,
defense, or
basically mid ranges are usually the decks that you play to beat the aggros, right?
yeah,
Um, and then you
sure.
lose to the pro play control later in the finals. Uh, but like for me, it's like you have
Hmm.
so many options, right, when you
Yeah,
play the mid range, because you have to balance the game a bit more. I'm not
right.
saying it's harder than the control, because the control is obviously, if you do one mistake, you might be out.
Yeah,
Uh, but it feels like you play the game more. When you
hmm.
play the mid range, you're in it from the start and you're in
Hmm.
it to the end game.
Yeah,
Aggro,
yeah,
you only
yeah,
play it at the start. Control feels like you play it in the
yeah,
late game.
yeah, yeah,
So I hope that blue can be a part of it.
yeah.
Yeah,
But I was looking, because earlier today I was looking at some of like the especially like the upgrades. Like blue has like 5 or 6 upgrades,
yeah,
and that's like more than everything else.
yeah,
Yeah. So, and that's, I mean, they have the both the Jedi lightsaber, Luke's lightsaber. Um, they've got what are the other ones? They've got a lot of upgrades that give experience, to give your stuff staying
yeah,
power, which I really like. Yeah.
yeah. It's I have not figured out the balance there yet with the
No.
upgrades. There
Yeah.
was such a risk of playing upgrades. It feels like so far in this game, like getting takedown or vanquished or whatever,
Yeah.
or just bounced by cunning players.
Yeah. Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
so
I mean, yeah. I mean, if you're looking at it, like just the ratios here, yellow cunning has 2.
yeah,
One just a vehicle, and one is when played attack with the attached unit, which I love. I love the kind of thing where, hang on a second, you can play a card and then attack with it,
yeah,
and kind
that's
of
pretty good. Yeah,
those kind of stuff. And they're both only 1 cost as well. Red has 2, 3, the villainy lightsabers. Command green has 3. Academy Training, Hardpoint Heavy Blaster, and then the Traitorous. So Traitorous is one of my favorites. And then Villainy actually has
7 upgrades.
7 upgrades. The 2
I
lightsabers.
didn't even know about one. Oh
Two
well, actually,
lightsabers.
Vader's.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you have
all of
double
them.
blue, which is protector.
Yeah,
Resilience, which is just a 0/3. You have a 1/1 devotion, giving restore 2.
yeah.
Electro staff, which is a 2/2, and entrench, which is a 3/3.
Oh yeah, the trench I've seen. Yeah,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
trench I've
exactly.
seen.
So there's a lot more like upgrade possibilities in blue, but then that's blue. That's
Yeah,
giving.
yeah. You want to put things on your Jedi's. Yeah, right.
Yeah, exactly. And which is like quite nice because if you can buff your Chewie even more
Yeah,
than it needs to be,
yeah.
man, Chewie hitting for 15. Oh, we all want it. We all want it, right?
Yeah. Like if Chewie becomes competitive, he's gonna get upgrades on him. Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. I mean, you have to play upgrades in Chewie.
Yeah.
Yeah, surely, yeah. But we can get onto the tech decks later because I've got ideas. You've probably got ideas of what you want to do. Like we can go through
Yeah.
each hero, talk about which aspect works best with them. We can talk about so many different areas of the game, which probably everyone's already done anyway,
No.
but not in Sweden.
No. In Sweden, nobody knows anything in Sweden, right?
Yeah,
We're so
exactly.
slow.
Yeah. I mean, we sit on the fence to see what's happening and then jump into the fight when you can. And I say we because I am a Swedish citizen.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You're
So it's like I
welcome
do.
here.
I can.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had a party with 2 princess daughter.
Oh yeah, that's very Swedish.
Which is cool. And tomorrow, which is my Thursday, which is the Thursday the 7th of March, which is the first Thursday of March. Which I mean, you're in Smallland actually, so this is your national holiday, really. First
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
What does it mean now again? Is it Fet?
It's Princess Daughter.
It is the Prince Daughter. Yeah, it is that.
Yeah.
Or as we say, Princess Tota. We can't spell the R. It's such a weird dialect down here.
Yeah, my wife's from Smallland.
Yeah.
Shipping, so I have fun
there. So you can insult each other a little bit. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. I mean, I get so much grief for being British.
Yeah.
Not only from her, from most.
It's
most
a very, very easy Swedish dialect. The British dialect, yeah. The British Swedish is
the British Swedish, exactly. Yeah,
it's almost
so many
as good as
people
Swedish
think
English.
I'm American, though.
Really?
Yeah, so many Swedes think I'm American, and I'm so offended when people think that.
Yeah, maybe it's because I grew up with like a British Swedish friend that I picked it up like that. Yeah. But
that's good. That's good to know. Cool. Well, we've been going for like an hour for this 45-minute first episode.
That's great.
But that's cool. This is episode 1 of the Nordic Takedown.
Yep.
Yeah. Where can people find you if they want to say, hey, that was an awesome episode?
Yeah. So I guess you could go to I'm So Humble at my YouTube channel. It's not like flooding at the moment, but otherwise, I am. If you're a Nordic person or a Swedish person, I am the one that is hosting. Well, not alone anymore, but hosting the Discord server for Sweden. Otherwise, you can just add me on Discord, right? I'm So Humble. I think that's the easiest part.
Yeah, sure.
How about you?
So you were the only one hosting the thing until I kind of forced my way in there to be like, I've got emoji.
You're the emoji guy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I'm also like hosting.
Yeah, you're in the council.
Yeah, in the council. Yeah. I mean, I am. I guess I'm at the captain or th3_cap7a1n, kind of the elite speak.
So easy.
I know. I mean, I'm talking. I'm turning 40 next year. Surely I can have elite.
For sure.
Username, yeah. On Twitter, I am at RunAsToWin. But you can find me in the thing as Jason the Captain Kirk, the Captain, whatever. You can see that. I'm also on YouTube with the Captain's Deck YouTube channel. I've done I still stream Keyforge. I'm doing loads of Keyforge stuff, but I'm doing more and more Star Wars stuff as well. So that's where you can find me. And I think we might make when we release this, we'll probably put in our Star Wars Unlimited Swedish Discord, maybe like a discuss the podcast channel so
Yeah, yeah.
people can discuss stuff, give ideas of what they want to do.
Exactly.
It won't just be you and me though. Eventually,
No, we hope not.
No, we hope to get a couple more hosts, some guests on. We both got a lot of friends, a lot of people who know more than us about the game. Well, I'm speaking for myself, but
Yeah, I'm so
you know,
perfect.
yeah, and humble and
yeah,
everything. Yeah,
and everything.
The humility is coming out like super strong here. Yeah.
It's not an ironic name at all.
No, I know.
Was not given by a friend that thought I was really, really cringe.
Yeah, but we're still stuff in there. We may end up getting a few more hosts, but we're going to keep it simple to start off with, and just go out there and have some fun doing this. Yeah. We can try and be weekly.
Yeah, that's going to be the plan.
We haven't discussed this yet, but
no,
we'll try to be weekly.
But now you put me on the spot, so of course weekly.
Yeah, we do. We can to be weekly, at least fortnightly. But there's a lot to talk about and a lot to do. How are you doing? Last question. What are you doing this weekend for release weekend?
Me, my local friend down here, and a friend from Varberg is coming up, and we are cracking boxes and playing. He's taking the vacation for Friday. I'm flexing out early on Friday, and we are playing Friday, Saturday, Sunday with the new boxes.
Nice.
So just playing Star Wars Unlimited and eating junk food, I guess.
Awesome. I'm doing the same, apart from I'm doing the parent of small children version of that, and I'm doing this from 8:00 tomorrow night, just tomorrow night. But I've got there's 4 of us actually. Bordy who won our pre-release, and a couple of others from the pre-release coming around, and we crack open a box each and building decks, doing a bit of trading and playing. The idea is that we can have a complete deck by the end. So another budget way in for those of you who want a good budget quick tip for the first episode: crack some boxes, just one box with a few people, do some trades, and you might end up with at least your first competitive deck that you can start with.
Yeah, and don't rush it. There is no real competitive.
This game has got so much staying power already.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of products from what I've understood.
Oh yeah, for sure. They don't want to do the Destiny again.
No, exactly. Yeah. I mean, and if anyone's worried about the FFG thing, we don't need to say what the FFG thing is. But I was a Keyforge player, and that no longer is owned by FFG. You're a Destiny player, that is no longer made by FFG. This does not feel like the FFG of pre-pandemic.
No, it doesn't. And even if it is, it's still going to be fun.
It's still going to be a lot of fun, but they've done everything right with this game.
So far.
Actually, I'm actually really sold, and I'm not worried actually.
Yeah, no, and for me, it also it feels really good. Because it's so easy to bring in other people. It's not, as you said, that barrier.
No, definitely. They've done so much right. Jim Cartwright has been a huge difference there. He's been brought over the magic, and
I think it's so smart that they put themselves a little bit cheaper than Flesh and Blood and Magic, and Lorcana.
Exactly. I mean, Lorcana is just
very expensive.
Cheap Keyforge. I know, more expensive Keyforge, I should say. If you like Lorcana, play Keyforge. It's cheaper. That's our tip for the day.
That's all you say, yeah.
And Keyforge is still alive. But for that, find the Nordic Keyforge podcast.
Yeah. Nice plug.
I know. I had to get it in. Right, let's finish the episode off there. Thank you all so much for joining us for the first one. Follow us, subscribe to us, whatever you need to do on whichever platform we choose to put this out on.
Yeah. And see you next week.
See you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.